This is Maehan Sportsland, and almost every video on the internet makes you believe that this place is reserved for the most talented elite drivers in Japan. But when I arrived here to drive, I was greeted with a completely different story. There were mentors for car setup, for drifting technique, for complete beginners. In this video, I'll go over the structure of the drift events that happen at Maehan, what they are looking for at every level from beginner to expert, and even what happens afterwards if you win it all. Let's get into it. So for context, Maehan is usually split up into 3 classes: beginner, middle, or expert. Within your class, there's something called a Doricon, a mini competition held after your lunch break. This is the same as open practice, but a judge will sit there and score all of your runs. Hitomi-chan herself, who runs the Hitomi Go events, describes beginner class as the following: practicing second gear entries using your handbrake while working towards using third gear. So this means if you're doing basic handbrake entries or are generally staying in second gear, this is the class for you. Judges are generally looking for commitment, line, and kind of just not spinning out. This is where I started, thinking I was hot shit driving with my friends in Canada on a skid pad. I got humbled real quick, getting dead last in beginner class, being beaten by a 20-year-old with a manifold so badly cracked his engine barely ran. To be honest, if you look at the layout of Maehan, there are a lot of areas that beginners can learn on with very low risk. If you skip the straightaway with the scary concrete walls, the back section is great for learning how to transition and getting a feel for your car even if you never drifted before. Car-wise, people are usually using a stock car with slight angle mods. I've even seen automatic sedans in this class, so you can pretty much run whatever you want. Moving on. So you're me and you're in the thick of it. You now use third gear like you mean it, and you're starting to understand the feint entry. It's not consistent, but it's getting there with tips from the local drivers. Hitomi Go describes middle class as able to consistently enter with third gear handbrake, but currently practicing third gear clutch kicks. So if you started in beginner class like I did, who gets to decide when you get to move to the next class? Well, it's simple. If you win your current class, they will bump you up to the next one. So in my situation, I was eventually able to achieve first place in beginner class, and that bumped me up to middle. Judges here now are starting to look for that feint entry. Things like your entry technique, how close you are to the wall, and being 100% throttle all start to matter. In middle class, you are going much faster down the straight, generally full throttle in third gear. This is where things can get a bit dangerous, since at 100% throttle in third gear, you'll be going well over 100 kilometers per hour at the end of the straight towards a concrete wall. I mention this because the fear was one of the hardest mental things to get over. My handwork was inconsistent, and back at home, I was used to driving safe and open skid pads, not somewhere with so many concrete walls. At this class, your main goal is just to get comfortable with the feint entry, getting closer to the wall, and trying to throw more angle. This will make more sense once we start talking about what they look for in expert class. The cars you'll see in middle class are usually a little bit more serious, usually turbo engine SR20s, but still running the stock ECU. But at the top of middle class, you might have to go against some of the big turbo guys as well. So you are serious. You have been practicing for years, and you even now drift in Crocs. All of that practice and credit card debt has gotten you here to expert class. Well, theoretically, I actually never made it to this class myself because, frustratingly enough, I kept getting second in middle class, so they never bumped me up. One day. Regardless, Hitomi Go defines this class as confident with third gear clutch kick entries, linking from the final corner into entry. So in this class, they don't even judge how good your runs are anymore, but rather the mistakes that you make. If you are getting an inch away from the wall every few tries, well, in this class, it's not good enough. People in this class are doing that almost every single time, which is extremely hard. Judges will usually look for small mistakes after your entry and are very strict with how much angle you throw as well as how early you are on throttle. This is my own observation, but I'm usually seeing people who are winning in expert class past 90 degrees at this point of the wall, which I have only achieved a handful of times when my car alignment was absolutely perfect and I had a lot of luck. People in this class do this every single time. The cars you will see in Expert class are usually big turbo TD06 cars making 350 to 450 horsepower, but I have seen people like Fukuyama-san here win with a stock T28 SR20 car, proving that even in Expert class, it is driving skill that matters the most. So you have made it. You have won Expert class. You have likely blown up 4 or 5 motors, but you can pull off entries like the locals. What happens now? Well, it's not over yet, because every year there's an event called Kansai All-Stars, where every prefecture battles it out and see who's the top driver at Meihan. This event is big. People are flying in from all over the world just to watch this legendary event. To drive this event, you need to qualify, but if you're winning in expert class at Hitomi Go, chances are you would pass qualifying pretty easily. If you thought expert class was difficult, this is the event where you will be facing drivers who have been driving here for 25 plus years. They have watched the birth of the Kansai driving style, and to win this event, you have to be insanely talented. Not only is it about the driving, but your name will be forever etched into Meihan history, carrying the torch of the giants who have made Meihan what it is today. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing.